Every missed workout, every abandoned plan, every cycle of, I'll start again Monday. You've probably asked yourself why this keeps happening. You've looked for the cause. Is it low motivation? Bad timing? Not enough sleep? The wrong plan? You've tried to fix it with better strategies, stronger resolve, more willpower. None of that is going to work if you are still negotiating with your commitment. If you've caught yourself doing that recently, pay attention to this episode, because that's the exact point where things break. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. Negotiation is the breakdown of action integrity. Action integrity is the consistency between who you strive to be and the actions you take. It's the alignment that makes your commitments mean something. When you commit, truly commit, the decision is made. The standard is set. The path is clear. There is nothing left to discuss. But what most people do at the moment when action is required is reopen the question. They revisit a decision they've already made. They ask themselves whether they feel like it, whether the timing could be better, whether the circumstances might require a different decision. And in that moment of revisiting, the commitment unravels. Every time you revisit a decision you've already committed to, you weaken your integrity. You teach your brain that decisions are optional. You condition yourself to hesitate. You practice backing out, and you get very good at it. You know what you want. You know what you said you'd do. This is a negotiation problem, and it's the reason you feel stuck. Answer this honestly. Can you articulate exactly what you should be doing? If the answer is yes, it has nothing to do with clarity of purpose. You're stuck because you have not built the identity of someone who follows through without renegotiating the terms at the moment of action. Think about what this means. You can know the right thing, want the right thing, and still fail to do it. Because when the moment arrives, you reopen the question instead of executing the decision. You give yourself an out. You make room for maybe. That's the habit. That is what's keeping you exactly where you are. There's a mechanism that removes negotiation from the system entirely. Tools like the ACT score exist for this purpose. You must replace interpretation with measurement. So the question is no longer, do I feel like doing this? It becomes, did I follow through or not? That's it. Clear. Binary. Non-negotiable. You either followed through today or you didn't. Your score goes up or it resets to 0. There is no debate about whether circumstances warranted an exception. There is no space for, but this time was different. There is only the fact of what happened and the score that reflects it. And to make sure I say this again, it's not about punishment. It's about removing the emotional loophole. When you eliminate the negotiation, you eliminate the failure mode. You stop living at the mercy of your moods. Convenience stops dictating your character. Circumstances stop determining whether you show up. And when you fail to follow through due to unavoidable circumstances, you learn to adapt. No beating yourself up. Instead, a learning experience, a recalibration. You stop doubting yourself and focus on navigating the reality you're facing. When you stop negotiating with yourself, progress becomes almost routine. There are still obstacles, but you, yourself, are no longer one of them. The decision is already made. You are no longer debating whether to act at the moment action is required. That battle has been fought and won before you ever reached the threshold. You start to trust yourself again. Each day you follow through, maintaining your streak of unbroken days. You do the thing without renegotiating it. You build evidence that you are someone who follows through. Evidence that your commitments are meaningful. Evidence that you're becoming the person you say you want to be. And that identity becomes its own engine. You don't need to muscle through each day on willpower alone. You simply execute what you've already decided because you've decided to do it. The negotiation is over. Your future self does not exist. Relying on future willingness to act is another form of negotiation. One that happens in advance with yourself, with the belief that eventually conditions will be better and the decision will be easier. Or you imagine you'll be stronger, even though you are not doing anything to be stronger. You won't be. Your present unwillingness to follow through is a solid predictor of future unwillingness. The only moment you have is now. And the only question that matters is whether you followed through today. Decide, set your standard, track it. Remove negotiation. Ask the binary question, did I or didn't I? Would you like to become more likely to answer that with a more consistent yes? I've built a place for that. On April 2nd, I'm launching a school community called Exercising Self-Control. Inside, you earn your ACT score by stacking days you don't break. Miss a day, it resets to 0. Start your streak, raise your standard, and close the gap between intention and action. The link to join the waitlist is in the show notes. That's it for today. Catch you next time.